Hey, what's up? How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I am fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with me today to have a conversation.
Good. I'm always blessed to be here.
Awesome, awesome. So, if you want to just kind of start with introducing yourself a little bit to us, and then we'll get started with the Q&A.
Okay, great. I'm Carlos McMath. I'm from Saginaw, Michigan. I am currently right now the head men's basketball coach at Schoolcraft College. I am also the owner and the founder of Next Play Consulting LLC, and currently 2 years running right now. Have our own radio show down here in Detroit, 9 10 a.m. Superstation called the Next Play Show with Lamar Woodley and Carlos McMath. So
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
that's
yeah,
me.
yeah. Doing big things, doing big things. And that's amazing. And we definitely will share all that information so people can tune in, support, come see a game, all of that. So
Most
um,
definitely.
yeah, yeah. Well, I just want to kind of get started and just ask you a couple questions.
Okay.
Um, so what's something you wish you would have known at the beginning of your career?
Ooh. I think the biggest thing that I wish I would have known was how to prioritize my health mentally and physically before I got started. I
Mhm.
think sometimes when people look at you, so I've have dual roles, well, multiple roles. I wear
Yeah,
multiple hats. But even thinking about my legal career, as well as being a basketball coach and running your own business, I think the biggest thing I would have focused on early on and told myself was to work out a lot more, eat healthier, take time for myself, learn what makes me happy while I'm making everyone else happy.
yeah,
So before I started my career, that would have been like the first thing. Like know yourself, know what makes you happy, and then go on to continue to help everyone else out.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think we miss that a lot. And if you're anything like myself, you go into things and just like get
Yes.
going, give your all, just be doing too much sometimes, you know.
Right. Right.
And and it really does impact us, our health, like you said, mentally, physically, all of that, and emotionally. You know, it's a lot because you also are trying to share yourself with all your people, right?
Right.
You know, your wife, your community, your mom, or whoever you're
Most
trying to
definitely.
share yourself. So it's a lot. It can be a lot.
I think if one of the things is now, like, I truly appreciate what my grandmother used to tell me to take a chill pill. Now I understand what that means now because you need it,
Yes.
but back then I didn't. But now I do.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was one question that I didn't ask you, but I have asked people what's something you didn't understand at the time that you do now, and that's one of them is
yeah,
take a chill pill. Yeah, learn to relax. Learn to
most
relax
definitely.
sometimes for sure. Um, the next question is share a moment that changed you in some way.
Today, I think before she passed away and after she passed away, one of the biggest things I remember is she always told me that I can be and do whatever I want to, and I'd be extremely successful. She sowed seeds into me at an early age that I didn't know about
Who was that?
until
I'm
those
sorry.
times came when
Who was that? I'm sorry because you broke up a little bit as soon as you
my
said.
I'm sorry, my
That's
grandmother,
okay. Your
my
grandmother.
grandmother.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, yeah. Miss Essie Lee McMath. She was just a beautiful soul, and she invested so much, just little things in you and you don't really realize. I didn't realize at the time, but when she told me I can do and whatever I want to do and I'll be great at it, I didn't appreciate it until it was kind of too late. And I think that's one of the reasons why I wear so many hats is that she spoke so much life into myself that I don't want to shorten myself or shorten my experiences that I have to give. And so I just try to make sure I be as good as I am or great as I am in everything that I do. Although it leaves me extremely tired, I think her sowing that seed into me at an early age really makes a difference. And it still changes me every day. Even when I think things are, too tough or it's too much or I'm being over the top.
Right.
Um, it's still something that I understand that it's my call and that's it's what I'm supposed to do. And
Yeah.
so I just do it to the best of my ability and then, pray about it afterwards and then keep going.
Yep. Yeah. 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 It's really interesting, especially our people that have come before us, right? The things that they left with us that we don't even some stuff you don't even realize is so grand until you
Right.
need it, right? Or you kind of like lean on it, and it's like, wait a minute, this is what she meant all this time, or this is what she did this for, or he did that for whoever,
Most
So
definitely.
it's really interesting how they plant those seeds, and you don't know when you'll see them grow.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things in which people will always invest in you but sometimes it takes a long time for those dividends to come back, right?
For
And
sure.
and so it's just sometimes it's a simple conversation, sometimes it's a simple hug, but we never should take for granted people that are willing to give something to you, not
Yeah.
just that are tangible, but intangible things. Just
Yeah.
a hug, a kiss, just hey, I'm thinking of you. Text like those little things matter because
Yeah.
those are things that you never know what people's temperatures are. You never know
Yeah.
what they're going through, and they
Yeah.
may need that word of encouragement or a simple conversation that could change their day or change their life. To be honest with you,
Oh, for sure. I mean, I've seen it happen. I mean,
yeah,
time and time again, where, like you said, just that one moment that you take for that person can literally be a life changer for sure.
most definitely.
Yeah. So we always should keep that in mind. So what's one thing you would tell your younger self?
All right. One thing I would tell my younger self. Ooh, you know what? I can say this. I would have told my younger self to stay at my first law school and don't leave for the second law school. And the reason is that the debt is still there, right?
Oh
And so I
yeah.
should have just stayed at my first location instead of going. But my plan was always to leave the state, and so that's why I transferred out. But mostly it's just it's you. I would tell my younger self to be patient, be
Yeah.
more patient,
That's
and
yeah.
I think that's the
Yeah.
biggest thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Be patient. Yeah, because we do. We again, when you are hyper focused like that and you
Yeah,
have goals, you try to get to them at all costs.
right, exactly. And I think sometimes when we have our goals, we forget that our goals were built off patience. That it wasn't built overnight. Like you didn't come
Yes.
up with this goal overnight and say that was it. Like it took like you thought about it more than just 1 second before you made it a goal. But yet
Yeah.
we think our goals are supposed to happen in a millisecond. Our goals
Yes.
supposed to happen as soon as we write them down. And sometimes majority of the time it doesn't work that way. And
Right.
so that was my biggest thing. The example is law school, but the biggest thing is just be patient. Let
Yeah.
things work themselves out. I gotta tell myself to be patient still to this day.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Oh yeah.
my mom always tell me, Carlos, tomorrow hasn't got here yet, so why are you stressing
Mm,
about it?
that's true.
And so it's still I'm still working on patience, but I would have told him to be a lot more patient.
Take a chill pill again.
Exactly,
Take a chill
exactly.
pill. Yeah, yeah. No, that's word. So you have some words of encouragement to leave with us. What would they be?
Oh, I think, man, you know, just get to the next play. Get to
Yeah,
your next play.
yeah.
I think at times, and what I mean by that is that I think too many times we get caught up on the past to the point in which we pray for it to repeat itself.
Mm,
Remember, when things happen for us that's good yesterday, does not mean it happening today is also good. I
mm.
always tell people this: you can go to a restaurant, your favorite restaurant, as many times as you want to. Eventually, that favorite dish is gonna turn nasty.
You think so?
Eventually, it's gonna lose its taste.
Mm-mm,
Because we ran it out too much, and I think we do
mm,
that in life. We
mm-hmm.
stick on the old play for too long that we
Yeah,
don't realize how to get to the next play. We don't
that's true.
realize when there's an opportunity to grow, and we've outgrown that last situation, but yet we want to stay in it. And so I
Yeah,
will always tell people, learn how to get to the next play, motivate yourself to get to the next play. It's okay to understand your old situation, but take those attributes that you built from that situation and get to the next one.
yeah.
Because again, the world changes. Clock,
Yes, it
just like the
does.
clock changes, the world changes, and you got to
Yes,
evolve as much as possible. So get to your next
yes.
play.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. And it's interesting for people that don't know. Like you said, you have the Next Play podcast, and that's something that because you coach my oldest son, and that's something that you would always say to them is Next Play.
Right.
And so with that, it's really interesting because that even like helps some of us parents because I remember times where you guys would lose or it would be like somebody made a mistake out there. I mean, just an obvious mistake, and it's like,
Right.
I know you don't play like that. What's going on? And it
Right.
costs, you know, it costs something during the game or the game. And even for us, because we be in the stands like we playing,
Right.
ain't done nothing, can't do nothing, and we critique critique the coaches,
Exactly.
we do everything. We be doing too much. But with that said, I remember times where we would be kind of fueled up, and you would yell out next play, and it would check us. I know for me anyway, I took that, it resonated with me in regards to, it's time to move on. That happened already. You can soak
Right.
in that, you can, be mad about it or what have you, but it's already happened. It's done. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's time to move on to the next thing. And you definitely can apply that in life, like you talk about. It's time to move on. So yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, just I mean, if we think about it, we are only as good as our next play.
which is true.
And it's something that we have to understand, especially when I'm talking to young men, in particular young black men, is simply like you have to be able to be great the next play. Yeah, everyone loved what you did in this situation, but if we can't get to this next one, then only person stuck on that old one is you, and everybody else is past you. And
Which
so
is
that's like that was really, and most of the time I'm probably yelling at myself to get to the next play because I'm
real
probably
talk.
mad as well.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. No, I mean it's really deep because I mean I even think about it, not to get too much on a tangent, but I think about how we are in this society and in this culture in regards to a person could have done like great things for 20, 30 years,
Right.
right? They do one thing that gets the media's attention, and all of a sudden they're canceled or they're this. And I'm not talking about stuff like, pedophilia or something like
Right.
that. I'm talking
Right.
about sometimes it's what I would consider minor offenses, right?
Right.
And people just this outrage and all this kind of stuff. And I just think about that when you say you're only as good as your next play. It's like people will sometimes forget about all that you did and focus on that one thing. And that's how people treat you in life. So
Yes.
you have to be conscious of that,
It's just like being used. We all are used every single day. It just depends on how much you love that person and let them get away with it.
which is
That's
true.
what it comes down to at the end of the day. And so when we look at society overall, and I can get on the tangent too, it's everybody has to understand that although you have an opinion, everybody don't care about it. Nobody cares about
They
your
really
opinion.
don't.
And the issue
Exactly.
is that we give people too many opportunities to continue to run with one opinion and think that's the only way to think.
Which
And
is
it's
true.
like we don't live in a 2D world. We don't live in a 1D world. We live in a 3D world. Well,
Right.
actually a 4 level world now. And
Right.
so you have to understand that, like we always said, two sides to the story. The truth is somewhere in the middle. And that's how the way
Right.
life is.
Yes. 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 Well, I appreciate you, Carlos, for taking the time to be here with me. You froze up just a little bit. There you go. You're back. Your face froze up
Yeah.
just a little bit. Thank you so much for being here today. I truly appreciate it, for you taking the time and sitting here with me and having this conversation.
Good. Again, like always, I love being here, and I love being able to contribute with you anytime we can. And like I always say, everybody catching plays, get to the next play. So here we are.
Yes. 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 All right, then. Well, you take care. Have a great evening.
Thank you. You too. Have a blessing.
All right. Bye.